This is Integrated Science, Jesma 004, grade 9 paper. It is a very good paper, very challenging paper. We're going to solve this paper question by question, whereby I'll explain it, give you the correct answer, not only giving you the correct answer, but also explaining why the other options are wrong. So without wasting time, let us start with the first question. First question reads, the movement of particles in a liquid is best described as A, fast and fixed, B, fast and random, C, slow and fixed, D, slow and irregular. So which one do you think is the correct option? So to start with, the movement of particles in liquid is not slow, and therefore where we have slow, that was incorrect. So C and D, automatically they are incorrect. So we remain with A and B. So the movement of particles in liquid, is it fast and fixed or fast and random? So it is not fixed, and the reason is because the particles in liquids, they are free to move around, and therefore it is not fixed. Therefore the correct option is option B, which says the movement is fast and random. Let us continue to question number 2. Which one of the following is not a basic quantity? You know that basic quantities, these are quantities which cannot be obtained from any other physical quantities. Grade 7, there are 7 basic quantity. The first one, here we have time. Time is a basic quantity. We have length. Length is a basic quantity. We have mass. Mass is a basic quantity. We have others like luminous intensity. It is a basic quantity. We have electric current. We also have amount of substance. Those are basic quantities. And therefore, volume is not a basic quantity. Volume is a derived quantity, because you know that if you have a cube or a cuboid, volume is length times width times height. And therefore, you can see it is derived from this unit, and therefore volume is a derived quantity and not basic quantity. And therefore, the correct option is B. Question number 3. Which one of the following is the strongest magnet? So which one do you think is the strongest magnet? A, U-shaped magnet. B, horseshoe magnet. C, ring-shaped magnet. And D, bar magnet. So which one do you think is the strongest magnet? So let us see. A bar magnet is not the strongest magnet. The reason why, it has a weaker and less focused magnetic field compared to this other. This one is not the strongest, not a strong magnet. Let's go to the ring-shaped magnet. Magnetic field lines are circular for this one and diffuse, and therefore it is less stronger. So we remain with the two, the U-shaped magnet and the horseshoe magnet. The U-shaped magnet is not stronger compared to the horseshoe magnet. And the reason is it is close to design, but not as effective as the horseshoe magnet. The reason why we are saying the horseshoe magnet is the strongest is because it has poles which are close together, which creates a strong magnetic field between them. And therefore, for number 3, the correct answer is B. Horseshoe magnet is the strongest magnet according to these options. Let us go to question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4 reads, which one of the following is a factor that affects the rate of diffusion? So you know that diffusion is the movement of particles from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So A says osmoregulation, B, rate of diffusion, C, temperature, D, connection gradient. Which one do you think is a factor that affects the rate of diffusion? Let us start. Connection gradient is no term like connection gradient. This is an incorrect term. So we don't have something like connection gradient, and therefore that is not the correct option. We have osmoregulation. That is not true. It is a biological process controlling water balance, and therefore it does not affect the rate of diffusion. Here we have the rate of diffusion. This is the outcome to not a factor. And therefore, the correct option is C. Temperature is one of the factors which affect the rate of diffusion. And how does it affect? Higher temperature increases the kinetic energy, making particles to move faster, and therefore increases the rate of diffusion. We continue to question number 5. Dash is the process by which water molecules move from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. You know that it cannot be transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is loss of water vapor from plant leaves, and therefore that is not the answer. It cannot be absorption. Absorption is the process where substances are taken up. For example, digested food, nutrients. Therefore, it is not this. It is described here. It cannot be diffusion, because we know diffusion is the movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. And therefore, the correct option is A, which is osmosis. Osmosis is the process by which water molecules move from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. Hope you are following. Let's continue to question number 6. During an integrated lesson on pressure, learners listed the following factors that affect pressure in solids: force and height, area and density, weight and gravitational force, force and area. So pressure in solids, you know that from the formula, pressure is equals to force over area. These are the two factors that affect pressure. So you can see 1, not true. B, Roman 2, area and density, not true. 3, weight and gravitational force, not true. 4, force and area. You can see from this formula that pressure is equals to force over area. And therefore, those are the factors which affect pressure in liquids. Question number 7. Which among the following is not a subatomic particle found in an atom? So take note of the word subatomic particles. Which one is not but a subatomic particle? Which one do you think is not a subatomic particle? A, electron. B, energy level. C, neutron. D, proton. So electron, yes, it is true, these are subatomic particle. Neutrons, it is true, a subatomic particle. Proton, true, subatomic particle. What about energy level? This is not true. An energy level is not a particle. It refers to the region or shell where electrons are likely to be found. And therefore, this is not a particle, it's not a subatomic particle. So for you to remember this, we usually tell my students that this is pen. Pen means protons, electrons, and neutrons are the one that makes up the subatomic particles of an atom. Let us continue to question number 8. The property that allows metals to be hammered and rolled into thin sheets, known as foil, is A, malleability, B, ductility, C, metallic luster, D, metal hardness. So which one do you think is the correct term? So let us see. Metallic hardness, this is not true. This describes the resistance to bending or even breaking. Metallic luster, not true. This describes the shining property of metals. Ductility, not true. This is the ability of metals to be drawn into wires, for example, copper wire. And therefore, the correct term, that property is known as malleability. It's where metals can be hammered into thin sheets without breaking. Question number 9. The following are uses of certain metals. 1, used in galvanizing steel. 2, used in making sunscreen products. 3, used in die casting. 4, used in making car batteries. So the method described above is, the moment you see galvanizing, galvanization is the process of coating the steel with zinc. And therefore, from this option, you can see I have zinc. Zinc is the one that is used in galvanizing steel. Zinc is also used to make what we call sunscreen product, which is referred to as zinc oxide, and therefore the correct option for this case is D, which is zinc. Let us continue to question number 10. Alloys are made by mixing two or more metals or nonmetals. Which among the following alloys are wrongly grouped with their composition? So which of these options it is wrongly grouped? Let us see. For brass, it is copper plus zinc, and therefore that is correctly grouped. Bronze is made from copper and tin, which is true. Stainless steel made from iron, chromium, and nickel. Very, very true. So the one which is not true is option number A. It is called duralumin. Duralumin is an alloy of aluminium, copper, manganese, and magnesium, not carbon. And therefore, this one is which is wrongly grouped. Command 2. Suppose a company wants to soften borehole water using chemicals. Which is the best chemical to use? A. Chlorine. B. Sodium carbonate. C. Washing powder. D. Sodium bicarbonate. So between A, B, C, D, which one do you think is the best chemical to use? Let us start eliminating. Part A, chlorine. That is not true. Chlorine is used to disinfect water. That is to kill germs, not to soften. Part C, washing powder. That is not true. Part D, sodium bicarbonate. It is not true. It is used as mild base in cooking. So the correct answer is B, sodium carbonate. And the other name for sodium carbonate is also known as the washing soda. So this is the best chemical to use to soften hard water. Number 12. The skin is made up of 3 layers. What is the function of the epidermis? You know that epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin. So let us look at the option. A, supply of blood. B, production of hair. C, insulation against heat loss. And D, protection against physical injury. So which is the function of epidermis? Which do you think is the correct option? Let us start with A, supply of blood. That is not true. The epidermis has no blood vessel. B, production of hair. Not true. The reason is because hair originates from hair follicles in the dermis. Part C, insulation against heat loss. That is not true. Insulation against heat loss is the function of the fat. It is found in the hypodermis. And therefore, the correct option is D, number 12. It is D, which is protection against physical injury and also entry of pathogens and ultraviolet radiation. Number 13. Grade 7 learners were classifying solutions into acid and bases. Which among the solutions was wrongly classified? So, A, toothpaste base. B, vinegar acids. C, soap solution base. D, anti-acid tablet as acid. So which one do you think was wrongly classified? Which was wrongly classified? Let us see. Toothpaste is true. Toothpaste is a base. Vinegar, true. It is an acid. Soap solution, true. It is a base. What about antacids? Antacids are not acids. They are used to neutralize stomach acid. In fact, it is a base. When you go to the hospital, you have acid, you are given an anti-acid. And therefore, an antacid is not an acid, it is a base. And therefore, the correct answer is D. So that is the one which is wrongly classified. Let's continue to question 14. If you are still up to that number, please like the video. Don't forget to like the video and comment if this video is helping you. Question number 14. Mr. Munene was teaching about sexually transmitted diseases. Which of the following diseases were they likely meant to discuss? So which one is not likely to be a sexually transmitted disease? A syphilis is a sexually transmitted disease, which is true. HIV and AIDS, sexually transmitted, true. Let's continue to the other side. Gonorrhea, it is a sexually transmitted disease. What about cholera? Cholera is not a sexually transmitted disease. It is a waterborne disease. This is a waterborne disease caused by bacteria through contaminated food or water. And therefore, the correct option for number 14, it is C. Number 15, below are pairs of apparatus used to measure fixed volume. So take note of the word fixed volume in laboratory. Which one is not? So A, syringe and test tube. B, burette and pipette. C, beaker and syringe. D, round-bottomed flask and burette. For question 15, I'm going to give you as an assignment. Please answer it in the comment section. Which pair of apparatus is used to measure fixed volumes? Which one do you think is used to measure fixed volume? Is it A, B, C, or D? Let us know in the comment section. Number 16, we're going to use this diagram to answer question 16 and 17. Here we have a leaf. We can name these parts. It is very good for us to know the parts. The part B is known as the leaf petiole. Part A, known as the leaf apex. C is the leaf margin. And E is the leaf vein. So 16 is asking which of the following choices describes the adaptation of the part labeled E. So E is the leaf vein. Let us look at the answers. They are green to manufacture plant food, not true. For vein, that is not the function of the veins. They are pointed and grows towards the direction of sunlight. That is the function of A, the apex, which is not. They are spread all over the surface of the leaf and have xylem that facilitate in transport of manufactured food. So xylem don't transport manufactured food and therefore is wrong. Is the phloem which transport manufactured food, and therefore C is automatically wrong. Part D, they are spread all over the leaf and have xylem that facilitate the transport of water and mineral salts. So that is the correct option. So D is the correct option. So xylem transport water and the phloem transport manufactured food. Number 17, the part labeled A is there. Let us go back to our diagram. So this is the part labeled A. Remember we said the name is what? Remember the name? The name of A, this is the leaf apex. And therefore 17, the correct answer is C, is known as the leaf apex. Number 18. 18. The arrangement of leaves on the branch of a plant is known as A, leaf arrangement. B, pattern. C, leaf mosaic. D, leaf adaptation. So we need to eliminate. Which one do you think is the answer to this question? Let us see. Leaf adaptation, it is not true. Pattern, not true. So we are left with these two, leaf arrangement and leaf mosaic. So what is leaf mosaic? This is a special type of arrangement where leaves are arranged in an overlapping pattern. So this is not, according to this case, this is a special type of arrangement where leaves don't overlap each other. And therefore, the correct option is A, the leaf arrangement of leaf is known as the leaf arrangement. It is true. The other political term is known as phyllotaxy. So phyllotaxy refers to the leaf arrangement. Number 19. What is the function of the guard cells? What is the function of the guard cells? You know, the guard cells are the ones that are near the stoma or to the stomata. So they're asking us, what is the function of the guard cells? Part A, let us see. They have air spaces that allow gases to diffuse in and out of the cell easily. That is not true. Air spaces are found inside the spongy mesophyll, not the function of the guard cell. Part B, their longitudinal arrangement allows them to trap maximum sunlight. This describes the palisade layer, the cell which we call them the palisade cells. So that's not a function of the guard cell. Part D, it transports water and mineral salt. That is not true. Water is transported by the xylem, so not the function of the guard cell. Part C, they control the opening and the closing of the stomata to allow water loss and gaseous exchange. And therefore, 19C is the correct answer. That is the function of the guard cell. They control the opening and the closing of the stomata. Number 20. Which of the following choices show the collective name for xylem and phloem tissues. So the xylem and the phloem tissue, chloroplast tissue, not true. This is related to photosynthesis. We have vacuole. Vacuole is not a collective name. A vacuole is a storage organelle. We have guard cell. You have already known that the function of the guard cell is to control the opening and the closing of the stomata. And therefore, the correct name given to xylem and phloem tissue is vascular bundles. It is known as the vascular bundles. Number 21, we have a very good diagram here. Diagram below shows components of an animal cell. Take note of the word animal cell seen under a light microscope. So we have 1, 2, 3. Then the question is asking, which part is wrongly matched? Which part is wrongly matched? So from this diagram, which part do you think is wrongly matched? Which part is wrongly matched? Is it Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3? Which one do you think is wrongly matched? Nucleus, it is well matched. Cytoplasm, set for chemical reaction, well matched. Cell wall, this is not true. Animal cell don't have cell wall, and therefore cell wall does not belong. This is known as the cell membrane, and therefore this is the part which is wrongly matched, and therefore it is Roman 1. Roman 1, so the answer is A. So animal cell, they don't have a cell wall. Number 22. Teacher Mary desks has a mass of 12.5 kilograms. The surface area of the part of the desk in contact with the ground is 0.025 meters squared. What pressure does the desk exert on the ground beneath? Know that pressure on this side, pressure is equals to force over area. So this is the kilogram, so this is mass, this is not force. How do we get force? We know that F is equals to mg. This is the mass multiplied by gravitational force. So to get the force is the mass 12.5 multiplied by 10. So I can see the force 12.5 multiplied by 10 is 125 newtons. I'm going to say the pressure is equals to force, which is 125 newtons, divided by the area of contact. This is the area, which is 0.025. So I'm going to divide these two, 125 divided by 0.025. So when you divide, which one is the correct answer? So you'll see that, try and divide out and then say in the comment section which is the correct answer. So divide 125 divided by 0.025. You can see the answers are there. Therefore, kindly divide and see which is the correct. 23. The experiment below was carried out by grade 8 learners from Wamini Comprehensive School. The learners noticed that the tanks were similar, but the taps fixed at different levels. You can see here the tap is up there, and for B, the tap is down there. Which tank released water at the highest pressure? The tanks are opened, and why? You know that in liquids, pressure increases with increase in depth. So as you go down, pressure increases. So you can see for part B, the tap is below here, and therefore the pressure will be more for this liquid coming out, and therefore it is B. The reason for B, the A inasema because pressure in liquids is exerted in a specific direction. This is not true. This one has said it is A, not true. But C, B, because pressure in liquids increases with depth and density. So this is the correct answer. Pressure in liquids increases with the depth and the density. Let's continue to question number 24. It's not very clear, but I'm going to read. During an integrated lesson, learners discussed chemical symbols of elements. Which one shows the correct chemical symbol for each element? So here we have gold, silver, aluminium, and argon. Know that the symbol for gold is not G, therefore automatically A is wrong. The symbol for argon is not A, therefore B is automatically wrong. The symbol for gold is not AG. AG is for silver, then this is wrong also. And therefore the correct option is D. Gold is AU, silver AG, aluminium AL, argon AR. Therefore D is the correct answer. Number 25. Which among the following electronic arrangements shown below represents argon? So we know that argon has an atomic number of 18. Argon has an atomic number of 18. This means that it has 18 electrons. So I'm here number 25. So argon has an atomic number of 18, meaning that it has 18 electrons. So when the electrons are 18, we're going to write the electronic arrangement. You start with the first energy level, which takes a maximum of 2 electrons, so 2. Next level takes 8 maximum, so 8. So 2 plus 8 is 10, and remember they're 18, so we remain with 8. So it is 2, 8, 8, and therefore the answer is A, 2, 8, 8. 26. Which group below shows metals only? So A, oxygen, neon, B, silicon, magnesium, C, calcium, lithium, D, argon and calcium. So which one do you think shows a group of metal only? Yes, let us see. Oxygen is not a metal, and therefore this is not the correct answer. Argon is a gas, and therefore this is not the correct answer. When we come to silicon, silicon is not a metal. We call it a metalloid. We have 2 metalloids in the first 20 elements, that is silicon and boron, and therefore is not a metal. And therefore the correct option is calcium and lithium. Calcium is a metal, and also lithium is metal. Number 27. Grade 9 learners carried out an activity shown below. So here we have some bulbs, we have battery, and then we have a point of contact AB. When placed between gap AB, which material cannot make the bulb light? So we are going to look at which material is a good conductor of electricity and which one is not a good conductor. So we're going to look which cannot make the bulb light. Steel wool can make the bulb light, in that what is true. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity, can make it light. Copper wire, a very good conductor of electricity, can make the bulb light. What about plastic ruler? So the answer is D. Plastic ruler. Plastic is not a good conductor of electricity, and the bulb is not light, and therefore the answer is D. Let us continue to question number 28. Here we have a male reproductive system, and then we have some points here, some letters. Which one of the labeled parts is correctly matched to its function? So let us remind ourselves of the names of this part. C is known as the penis, P known as the urethra, S is the scrotum, you can see it is pointing here outside, and then Q is pointing inside, so this is the testis. So let us see which one is correctly matched. P introduces sperms in the vagina, not true. That is a function of that is not true. Q produces hormones, Q. C stores sperms, not true. Allow passage of sperms, S, not true. And therefore the one which is correctly matched is Q. The testis produces hormones and sperms. Number 29. Which among the following choices is not a way of preventing rusting? So which one is not a way of preventing rusting? We can prevent rust by oiling and greasing, true. We can galvanize by use of zinc, true. We can make other alloys, which is true. And therefore, the way which is not a way of preventing rusting is A, maintaining cleanliness by washing tools. So that is not a way of preventing rust. And therefore, the answer is A. Number 30, complete the equation below. Iron plus oxygen, we get what? It does not rust because there is no water. For rust to occur, you need to have those 3 things, iron, oxygen, and water. And therefore, it is not hydrated. Hydrated means water, so there is no water there. So A and C, they are incorrect. So we remain with iron oxide and iron 3 oxide. So I'm going to leave number 30 also. Let us know in the comment section which one is the correct. Is it iron oxide or iron 3 oxide? Otherwise, that was it for part A. I'm going also to do another video for part B. It's a very good paper to go through. If you have enjoyed, if you have learned something, please like this video, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.